Greetings. I'm in the kitchen today because I'm doing a little bit of kitchen projects from the garden, which I'm so excited to say. My most exciting thing I'm doing right now is I'm baking some zucchini bread. I'm watching the oven. It doesn't sound like a very exciting thing to do, but we have had, if you've been following my channel, the last couple of years, particularly last year in the garden, was pretty much of a disappointment, at least as far as our zucchini and other squashes were concerned, that we did not have any, very few if any, female flowers on our zucchini plants. So without female flowers, you don't get any baby zucchinis. So we had beautiful plants, but no crop. And zucchini is one of those things that most gardeners take for granted, and a lot of times we complain because we have, later in the harvest we get so many that we just don't know what to do with them anymore. I think my channel, my blog, I have a blog called The Good Wife's Garden that I haven't really updated for a while, but I think I started that blog, I don't know how many years ago, a good many years ago. But I want to say I think I started that blog because I was looking for ways to record all of the zucchini recipes that I was trying to come up with to use my zucchini. It's in a section on that. If you look at it, I can link the blog if you're interested, because you might want to see it, because in the future I might have more on it. It's something I might want to update a little bit. But in the meantime, it's thegoodwifesgarden.com. I will link it down below. But I have a section there on the garden, and I have a section that's help I planted too many zucchinis, and I have a list, pretty good list of things that I use zucchini for, and which is ever increasing, which I maybe need to put some more things on there. But anyway, I was really excited because we had our first several zucchini dishes over the past few weeks. And right now I have, I think, something like a half a dozen zucchinis, really nice sized zucchinis that need my attention. In addition to the nice big one that went into the 2 loaves of zucchini bread that are in my oven right now. So, that being said, this is a real good time. It's a real happy time for me. And I'm making the zucchini bread because zucchini is one of those things zucchini bread is one of those things, like other sweet breads, like particularly a banana bread, that I like to bake and keep in my freezer for those times when I either need to take something somewhere, if we're going on a picnic or something, or take something as a gift for somebody, or just simply to have as a good lunch, thawing out a piece of zucchini bread and hard-boiled egg and maybe some crudité and fresh fruit. That's a really lovely lunch that we like, especially in the heat of the summer. Those kind of things in the summer where you don't have to really prepare everything. You don't want anything real heavy, but you want that kind of little bit of a little something good. So anyway, I'm baking 2 loaves. One is going to be going in when it's cool. It's going to be wrapped and put in the refrigerator. That's where I keep it, so that we can have a nice, moist, cool slice of it, maybe tomorrow at lunch. And the other loaf is going to be wrapped after cold, wrapped real well, and probably put in a freezer bag as well, and put it in my freezer for another day, for a time when zucchini bread would just hit my spot. So anyway, thinking about the zucchini and thinking about all of the other projects that I've been doing around the house, being busy with the garden. My tomatoes are just coming in. I've had some crops of tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes, particularly the smaller ones. I already have a big jar of reserved tomatoes in olive oil in the refrigerator. I'm just about ready to start doing some other things with some of these tomatoes. We've, of course, enjoyed those and some recipes as well. But I realized I have 2 big bags, giant bags, of tomatoes still in the freezer from last year that need to be processed, because I got to make room for the new. And that's what's going on right now. I've got some cucumbers ready to go that we've harvested as well that are ready. I'm going to be turning those into some refrigerator pickles, which is a staple in our refrigerator all the time, which I've been out of for quite a while because, again, our cucumber harvest last year was pretty disappointing as well, for pretty much the same reason as the zucchini. This year, I'm very happy to say our garden is thriving. We, first of all, grew everything from seeds. We were able to do that and begin them in a timely manner, and a good, nice, good, healthy collection of seedlings that we grew, and we had perfect timing. We hardened them off properly. We even had time to do that, and before they were transplanted into the raised beds or wherever they went, at the proper time. So they've been adequately cared for, and the timing was good, but our weather has been very cooperative. I am almost ashamed to say, because everybody else is suffering from such heat wave right now. And right now it's 2:30 in the afternoon on the 2nd of July, and the temperature outside is a beautiful 85 degrees with and of course we have it's with 46% humidity, it feels like 88 degrees. So that's not bad at all, is it? So we're pretty lucky. We've been having really beautiful temperatures so far. We've had a nice spring and a nice early summer. Sometimes we have a very short spring and a very early summer, and it starts out with heat, which happened to us last year. We had a really hot summer. I thought maybe that was going to happen again this year, but it did not. Our heat days, we've only had a couple days. I think I'm logging a temperature for another reason, but I had one since the solstice. On the 20th of June, since the summer solstice, our highest temperature has been, today is like our highest, yesterday went up to 91 degrees, 91. But not for very long. We haven't had any really unseasonably hot weather, with the exception of maybe 2 days a couple weeks ago we had in the 90s, but it didn't last. So anyway, it's just perfect for the garden. I'm very encouraged. I'm very happy about that. I don't know what to say. I don't want to brag, but it's been a long time coming for us just with this garden. We're so dependent on our garden. We put so much work into it, particularly when you're growing things from seeds, and the commitment of that for months and months. And the one thing we have a little different here in California, Southern California, I'm a little late in coming to understand, is that the days here, the angle of our sun is different, of course. Where we were from in the Northeast originally, they have, it can be snowy. It seems like it's snowy. If you have any friends that, I know people that live in like Michigan and Wisconsin and places, and it seems like they have snow, and then the next week they plant a garden, and then the next week they have tomatoes, which it's not really true, but it seems like that. Their growing season is very short because their sun, it's very intense. The angle of their sun is different, and they get longer sunnier days than we do here in at this latitude. So we need more temperate days. If it's too many hot days, it just our plants cannot survive. Our growing season is longer. It takes much longer to harvest something. Okay, if that makes sense. Anyway, I really didn't want to talk about gardening. I wanted to talk about the projects, because there's a particular reason. I promised in the title of this video that I am going to talk about a little spell, and that's really what I mean to talk about in this video, at least mention. I'm not going to demonstrate a spell because the spell has already been performed. I want to show you and tell you what it was and why I think it's important that maybe you consider doing something like this for yourselves. But I am using some examples of some of the things I'm doing, like with the garden and other things, because that is a part of the feeding of that spell that I set when I cast the spell. that I talk about a lot, about feeding spells, that I'm trying to get everyone to, maybe get you all to understand perhaps in a practical way. Okay, and first of all, let me tell you about the spell so I can talk about it specifically. This spell we did it as a part of a group. We had a group ritual, and this was a spell that we did where everybody was doing their own, of course, their own thing, but we used the group to, we did it together, but we used the group to raise the energy after, when we were casting the spell. But that's not necessary. This is something that is so simply done on your own. This is the kind of thing that I normally do on my own, a really simple, very, and an organic, very organic, just using the supplies that I have. It kind of came to me as we were doing some cleanup in the garden again, and we happened to trim the our California white sage, which has really been through a lot. That California white sage has been through an awful lot. I think earlier on I showed you pictures, like I said in my earlier videos. It was a massive thing. It was, I don't know how tall and how wide. Oh, I'll have to try to see if I can find that video for you to see that. My husband got some good shots of that. And I think the winter after that, or the following winter, I think it was, we had so much rain, because usually that plant thrives here. It's native to our area because we don't get a lot of rain, and it really thrives on that kind of climate. Well, we had so much rain one winter, that I think the following winter, that the plant just got so heavy, it just kind of fell over. It didn't all fall over, but a lot of it fell over. And so we've had it propped up, and we've trimmed it back some, but we've been propping it up and trying to encourage it to maybe grow out rather than up, and doing a lot of little tricks like that. And one of the things, and we also had it had been sort of it's still a massive plant. Don't get me wrong, it's still massive. But one of the things that we did on it was we allowed it to go to flower, and left the flowers on until the flowers were really good and dead, because the pollinators just love the flowers. The bees are all over that plant, and until we got other things flowering in the garden for them. But it's kind of unsightly when it goes to flowers, because it shoots up these big long flower stalks, and it's not real pretty. So anyway, I was anxious to get it trimmed back a little bit now that the flowers are spent on it. When we trimmed it, and I was making some bundles, some sage bundles and some things, and gathering loose leaves, because I use the loose leaves dry as well. And I came across some of the the sticks, the stalk, the woody stalk, and oh my goodness, it smells so lovely. And I was just trimming it, and I thought, oh, what a lovely thing to use for one of my stick spells. Like, it's a stick spell. I call it a stick spell. I don't know what it's called, but it's just something that I like to do. And I've sort of jumped ahead a little bit of what the spell is about. I thought this would be a perfect time for us to do this spell. Okay, now let me tell you what the spell's about. We are in the summer solstice now. We've been since June 20th, which was the longest. The day with the summer solstice comes the longest daylight hours, and the shortest darkness. And now, since the second, of course, it's diminishing, and our light continues to diminish each day until, of course, the winter solstice that comes 6 months from now, and that will be the longest night and the shortest day. That being said, we had just, first of all, at this time of the year, the sun is this time the sun is in its greatest power, right? And we know that. It is a very fertile time. Everybody's garden, no matter where you live at this point, and if you live in this hemisphere, this is a time where people they're beginning to see the results of their plantings. Some people have more than others, but some people at least have greening coming up, and they're seeing some greening. The earth is very fertile. The sun, the energy coming from the sun is very beneficial in the garden. We can see that everywhere. People are thriving. People are outside in the sunlight, in the longer light of the days, enjoying longer days and those summer days, and just being outside and getting fresh air. We're celebrating everywhere here, at least, because a lot of the restrictions have been lifted from us, and we're able to go out in public a little bit more than we were in the past and gather a little bit more, at least, well, sensibly, maintaining, good common sense about it. But here in California, after how many, well over a year of being pretty much isolating ourselves, we're able to go out and enjoy those beautiful days. Okay? So anyway, the power of the sun is very strong at this time of the year. Now, in addition to that, we just had a full moon. And at the full moon, we enjoy the energies of course, the moon energies and the things that entails, all the effects that has on us, okay? This is where we came together for the group ritual. But I want to say, and did this spell, but I want to say at any time during the summer solstice, up until Lammas at the beginning of August, this is a really nice kind of spell to do, because this is a time when we want to bring in, the sun and the moon are working together very strongly at this point, because of the strength of the sun. And it is a good time to bring our intentions together. Our intentions are our concept of what we want, what we think we want, and what we really need. Okay, what we want. Thinking about the sun. What do we? The sun is about the things that the things we need, the physical things. What kind of physical things, or physical things that we want? We all want to do. We have possessions. We want money. We want, a happy family. We want a nice home. We want maybe a nice garden. We want, the things that we want. And then we have, on the other side of it, but do we need those things? What do we really need? We think we want things to make us happy, but what is really going to give us our best life? Is it the things? Or is it some of the things? Or is it none of the things? I'm kind of talking in circles, and I apologize. My mind is kind of going in circles because I have so many projects going on in my life that I'm just trying to, but they're all coming together and making sense in a way. A little background where I'm coming from is we've been going through this project where our master bedroom closet, we have been reorganizing our master bedroom closet for pretty much of the month, I want to say. Because it's a massive project. It's an 8 by 8 closet, 8 feet by 8 feet approximately. Or maybe a 7 by 8. It's really big. Walk-in closet that we built as a part of the home improvement project. We added on our master bedroom 30 some years ago, almost 40 years ago, 35 I guess years ago or so, and we've pretty much been filling up the closets since that time. You know how you do in your bedroom closet, and it's just massive. It was a mess. It had so much stuff in there, and we thought we're going to disorganize it. So I watched some organizing videos, of course, here on YouTube, like you do, and determined that it'd be the best thing for us is to empty it all and put in a new organizing system, and we decided to put in an IKEA system, which sounded wonderful because part of our kitchen is IKEA. We're used to working with some IKEA, at least to an extent. They're very good at making the most maximum use of a little bit of space, which I really wanted. Even though I do have a big closet, there's 2 people in the closet, and we keep a lot of stuff in our closet. So anyway, but the deal I didn't realize is we had to empty the closet, and then we had to build the units, put in the units, like the boxes like that you build in where the thing contains it. And then inside those boxes either goes the rails that hang your clothes on, or shelves to put your clothes on, or drawers, or whatever you put in there. But it's still basically all the interior organizational bits. But before you can put in the organizational bits in the inside, you have to build the structure. So we spent a lot of time figuring out and designing it and building the structure. And we had to go and do click and collect at IKEA. We went and ordered it, and then went and picked it up. I think it took us 3 trips or so to get that, all to fit in the car. And then, which is it's Costa Mesa. It's like 20 minutes away from here. But anyway, then we went to order the rails and the drawers, or the shelves and everything that goes inside, and we found out of stock. And we checked like every day, out of stock. We'd get this piece, we couldn't get this piece. We have been having this nightmare of trying to, like, pretty much checking the website every day. Just when they're going to get in stock. We couldn't get it to deliver. I did spend pretty much close to $50 on one delivery, just for the delivery, for some shelves, but I didn't get near what I wanted. And anyway, in the process of doing that, I'm just blabbering like I do, a big long-winded thing. But in the process of that, I'm going through all the stuff in that closet and going, do I really want it? I'm not doing the recondo method, the KonMari method they call it, where you have to love it to keep it or whatever, bring you joy. But yes, I am going, do I need this? Why am I keeping this? Is this something I need? Would I buy this again? I was going to buy it. Is this still something I want? Is it worn out? Does it even fit anymore? Is it appropriate for the climate or for our lifestyle, etc.? So I'm going through all of those processes, which is very much what I'm talking about in Spell. Do I want it? Do I need it? What I do not want is a whole closet full of clothes that I can't wear. I don't want a whole lot of closet full of clothes that don't fit me. That is depressing, right? It's depressing if everything in your closet is too small for you. How sad that is, right? I noticed some really ridiculous things. Like, I don't know how many pairs of shoes I have. I have like 30 pairs of shoes, maybe. I don't know if that's a lot, but maybe more or less, something like that. Which doesn't seem excessive to a lot of people, but I don't wear shoes. If I don't wear shoes, it's kind of excessive. Things like that I'm looking at. What do I need? What do I need? Oh, look at that. I have all these shirts, but I don't have any bottoms. I have all these, summer dresses, but I don't have any winter dresses. These kind of things. It's a good time to take stock and to think. The spell is going to help me do that. The spell is going to help me determine to unite these two energies. The energy of the sun, of what I think I need, what I think I want, what I think will make me most comfortable, what I want to acquire. And I will unite that with the energies of what will help me to live my best life, what will make me the happiest, what will give me joy, what will give me peace of mind, what will make my life, what is something that's really going to benefit me, what will benefit me in some way. Uniting those two energies. That's what the spell is about. That's what the sticks are about. That's what the stick spell is about. One stick representing the things that I acquiring or needing or trying to, create, have, possess, the things that I surround myself with. The other stick representing what benefits me, what connects me to my higher self, what makes me feel at peace, what provides me with a feeling of contentment, what keeps me healthy. Okay? That those two need to work together. They need to work together. If you surround yourself with a lot of stuff and you don't get joy out of any of the stuff, that's hurting you. It's not just not giving you the joy, but it's causing sadness, or it's causing stress, or it's causing, something negative. Okay? that's what the spell is about. And very simply, now that I've talked and talked, very simply, what I did was I took two, and in my case, it was sticks, just the sticks, stripped of the leaves, of my California white sage. And I like it because I love it because it smells. But you could use any kind of sticks from a tree, any kind of woody stalks. You could use stalks from a rosemary. You know, a lot of people use those. The only problem is you want something thick enough because you want to be able to wrap it. You want to be able to wrap it. And I don't want to take this apart because it's already been sealed. But we started out the spell. Everybody was given one stick with blue thread and one stick with green, and it was like cord, and I just used like a crochet. It's not a crochet cord, it's like a crochet cord. It's a cotton cording that I use for everything, because I used it for when I was weaving. It's like a good yarn to use for weaving a loom, something like that. But it's just like crochet cord, but it's thin. You could use thick crochet. You know, the crochet cotton that you would get to crochet like a doily, that, you know what I'm talking about. That thickness is fine. I think that's probably what this is. This might be a little thinner, but that would work. You don't just you could use yarn, but my point is you probably want to use natural fiber. So remember, that's my thing. Either use wool or use cotton, or you could use silk, but that would be crazy. Cotton is really good, but if you don't have it, like wool, 100% wool, not acrylic, because we don't want it to burn, okay, and you might want to burn it. But anyway, basically, everybody that participated in the spell got two sticks, and one had a green thread tied at the top, or string tied at the top, and one had a blue tied at the top. And I only used green and blue because, number one, that's what I had. Number two, green, I associated green, the color green, with manifestation, with prosperity, with growth, with the sun energy. Okay, the sun energy, bringing in that growth into my life. What am I going to grow? What am I going to manifest physically in my world? And the blue, the calming waters, the blue emotional, the blue of the West, that blue energy, I put on the other stick. I just tied a knot around the top of the stick and let the string dangle. Okay, that was it. So that's what everybody got. And then they took one stick at a time, and they started to take one. And it's hard to, I'm holding two, but if you had one, you have one, and you had the string, and you just start wrapping the string around the stick. And as you're wrapping around the stick, you're thinking about what's around you. You're thinking about your physical world. What is it that is around you? That string around the stick is what is representing what is around you. All of the stuff in my closet, all of the stuff in the boxes that I still haven't gone through since my mother passed away. All of those paperwork that I need to go through, this stuff from when we took that stuff out of the office. I'm thinking of all of those things, and I'm thinking about what my life would be like with that space. My new closet, what it's going to be like without all that clutter. My garden, what it's going to be like in my garden now that I have my zucchini back, now that I have my cucumber back. All that work and what I'm manifesting. All of the physicalness of my life, the physical things, the people that I have in my life. I'm thinking about my place and all of those in that surrounding. Okay? Then I'm going to take the blue one and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to think about what brings me joy in my life. What brings me joy in my garden? What brings me joy in my house? What brings me joy with my husband, or with my children, or with my friends, or with my pets? What brings me joy? And then I'm going to take the two ends. I'm only going to go down like maybe halfway on the thing, thinking about it, meditating about it. And then I'm going to take the two ends together that I have left of this string, and I'm going to wrap sticks together. See, they're together. I can't take them apart. They're together. And I know you can't see it because it's blue and green are almost the same color. My lighting's not the greatest thing, but you know, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. They're just wound together. And then when I get to the end, I just tie it however I can, secure it with a knot, a simple knot, however it would hold it. And then we took these strings and we held them in our hands and we meditated and we put our intention, like you do, into your string. And we took turns, and I had a candle lit, standing in a cauldron of sand that I had dressed that candle with a little bit of oil, you know, some of my oil, the oil that I use to charge my spells, that little bottle of oil that I have on my website. But it can be any kind of oil you want. And you know, whatever you like. You could simply infuse some rosemary, if you have fresh rosemary, and a little bit of olive oil, you know, and then you rub that on the candle. Anything that you think will work for you, or a little bit of incense, or little resins or something in it. Whatever works for you, whatever you like. Oil the candle, and then put it in there, lit the candle, and then we took turns and we went around the altar, went around the circle, holding and singing to raise our intentions. And we came around to the candle when it was our turn. We held the sticks in our hand with our knot up, facing up, however it was. And then we took the candle and held it over the cauldron, and we just dripped wax onto that knot and sealed that knot. Sealed it. Our intention was sealed. Okay? We continued around the circle, we continued singing, we had some noise, we had some drums and some rattles, and we sort of danced around the circle and raised our voices, raised our intention. Yes, it was lovely with a group, but you can do it by yourself. You don't even have to you can listen to, you know, like a music on your Bluetooth, whatever you do. Listen to some music, listen to some drumming, listen, you know, whatever, or just shake a rattle, or whatever you do that helps you raise that intention, the vibrations of your intention. Think about it, and then when the spell is cast, then you can put this, in our case, these have been sitting on this is ours, my husband and mine, they've been sitting on our altar. But they can go, you can bury them, like we do poppets sometimes. You can burn them, then you can throw them in a fire, ceremonial fire, or keep them and throw them in your fire, your llama's fire, or your, you know, whatever it is that you want to do with it, or you can just keep it as long as you want it, and then afterwards either burn it or bury it, I would say. No, I wouldn't throw it away. You know, when you're done with it, I would not throw it away. But you can keep it. You can keep it by your altar. You can keep it by your mirror in the morning when you get up, and you can see this sitting there, and you can say, reminding you for your day what your intention is. Because your intention then needs to be fed. Your spell needs to be fed. And that's what I say all the time when I talk about feeding spells. How do we feed that spell? And that's the purpose of all this I've been talking about. When I talk, I'm sorry, I was just checking my timer and my bread because I can start to smell it. Let me check my bread. Okay, it was done. My nose knows. I was talking about feeding the spell. Being ready to feed the spell after it has been cast. Because just setting it down on the altar or whatever you want to do with it, I don't think that's good enough. I think you have to then feed it for a little while. This kind of a thing. When we get to the point where our needs and wants are so separate from each other that we need to intentionally bring them back together, that has happened mostly from habit, from our habits. Acquiring things that we don't need. You know, not being prepared with meals and having takeout all the time, or you know, just living in a messy house, or you know, not being able to find anything. All these things are symptoms of the habits that have been created because of our inattentiveness, of the division. We think we want something that is going to make us happy, and we get it. It didn't make us happy. We get something else, didn't make us happy. We get something else, didn't make us happy. I kept buying shoes. I could never find shoes I liked. I kept buying shoes. I never wore them. My shoes have not hardly ever been worn, maybe one time ever, most of the pairs. When the truth is, I just didn't want the shoes. I guess that's the point. I didn't really want the shoes. That was what was going to make me happy. I realize that's a little simplistic because I know everybody has to put on shoes sometimes. But you understand my point. I was buying them and they didn't make me happy. It wasn't what I wanted, but I kept buying them anyway. And I ended up with a closet full of shoes that just really not only didn't make me happy, but interfere with my life because they made a cluttered mess that I couldn't find anything because of it. When you feed this spell, you're going to start developing habits that bring your needs and wants in line with each other. What are those habits? Well, you need to look at what it is around you that is causing the discord. Where is the discord in your life? And then you need to find habits that can heal that gap, right? They can bring that together. Bridge the gap, I guess I want to say. The bridge the gap between what you want and what you need. What you think you want and what you really need. Okay? I hope I'm making that clear. It's a very simplistic spell. You can do it as specific as you want. You can do it as general as you want. But the important thing is, it's a really good time of the year to do that. And we naturally, at this energy, at this time of the year, we're naturally drawn to this kind of spell work. That's the beauty of, and the magic. I think that's the true magic, is that if we just allow ourselves to be in tune and to work with the energies of the year, how we progress throughout the year, and the energies around us at different times of the year, these things will come to us naturally. You don't need me to tell you what it is that you need to do right now if you're just in tune with your surroundings and and nature, and to see, what are the energies? What are the energies? Feel that strength of that sun. We have so many desires. People, I think since we're young, at least those of us who live here in the United States, most of us grew up with, not everyone, but most of us grew up having, your school is 9 or 10 months of the year, and then the remaining 2 or 3 months of the year, it was summer vacation. So you put all of your hopes and dreams into, other than Christmas, into, or maybe your birthday, into summer vacation, all the things you wanted to do. Do you remember those feelings when you were young? All the things what summer meant to you, couldn't wait to do them. Couldn't wait to do these things in the summer. I'm still like that. I'm in my late 60s and I'm still like that. I still think about summer. And I have so many aspirations for summertime, what I want to do. They could be very simple things, but they're very strong feelings. It's natural. It's a natural way to be in alignment with your surroundings and with the earth. Okay, and that's what we witches do. We're aligning ourselves with the energies of the earth. It's very simplistic. I know. I apologize that I had so much other stuff I was going on and on about, but really that's how I come upon my magic, because magic is a part of life. It's not separate from your life. It is a part of life. So I can't compartmentalize my life and say, well, my magic is over here, and over here is my garden, and over here is my IKEA closet, and over here is my meals. Or, you see, it's all a part. It's all together. And magical life, that's where we're all trying to live our best magical life. I hope I didn't go on and on too much. I probably did, but some of you say that's my charm, so I will be gracious and thank you for that. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm going to be bringing you along, hopefully, over some of my other projects that I'm doing this summer. And I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago, and I have to tell you that I had a couple gifts for the tarot community that might be interested in. So I look forward to sharing some of those things with you too. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're getting out and enjoying your summer wherever you are. And as always, I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.